I'd like to introduce Pierre from Belgium, who takes LDN for ankylosing spondylitis. Welcome, Pierre.
Hello, Linda.
Could you tell me when you first started to notice symptoms that led to ankylosing spondylitis?
Yes, so the first time I noticed something was wrong was exactly 10 years ago. I was skiing and suddenly I had a pain in the lower back,
Hmm.
and that pain was very present. So when I came back from holidays, I went to see a doctor, and nobody could tell me what it was. I did suspect spondylitis, but there were no doctor who agree with me because they couldn't see anything on X-ray. And it was only about 4 years later that the specialist finally agreed that it could be ankylosing spondylitis. So uh, for me at that point, it was 100% certainty because she wanted to make a special scan, but I didn't go for it. I didn't feel it was necessary. The X-ray were good enough for me.
Hmm.
And so, since I'm very much into holistic medicine, I did fight the pain with a lot of vitamin and other supplement with a rather great success. But it was a lot of work. It was about 40 pills every day, and the sickness were still evolve, and I felt more rigid as time goes by. At one point, I did a mail to a friend in the US whom I'm in contact with and who knows a lot about holistic medicine. And I told her, well, you have to come with something else. I'm not happy with what I'm doing now for myself. And she told me, well, my PC just broke down, but someone sent me a mail and they spoke about low dose naltrexone. I don't know what it is. Just do your homework, but I think it could help you. But I don't have time now to look for it.
Hmm.
And so I start searching, and that was about, I would say, almost 3 years ago. And it was a bit more difficult at that time to find information about LDN on the internet, especially that she did not tell me low dose naltrexone. She just told me naltrexone.
Hmm.
So I find information, and it took me about 2 months to decide to try. I had no problem having the script for the naltrexone because I work in the health field, and I have many friends who are doctor and who write any script for me. So that was no problem to have the script. And uh, I start at a very low. No, I think I start at a low amount. I said 2 milligram, but for me it was too much. So I went back to half a milligram, which I just took it in the liquid form that I made it myself. And I start with half a milligram. And the very next day, I did feel the difference. It was amazing. And I could uh, go back to the diary because I kept a diary at the time. I had that I was accustomed to keep a diary whenever I try a new vitamin, a new supplement, because I was looking for years to find the best way to fight pain. And so I kept a diary from the very first day, and I was amazed. And so I went from half a milligram up to 4 in a matter of 2 months. I really went very slowly, especially that even at that very low amount, I was completely unable to sleep. And I couldn't sleep for almost a whole month. My sleep came back bit by bit after 3 weeks, and it came fully back after 6 weeks. So using naltrexone was very difficult because of that lack of sleep. But because the pain was completely gone from the very first day, I really stick to that. And as the months goes by, I find out that I became more, how you say in English. So because of spondylitis ankylosing, I was
Mm.
becoming rigid on my spine,
Yes.
and so after a few months, I got better, and I find out that I moved more freely.
Mm.
However, I never regained completely the my the move of my spine, but it went a lot better.
Mm.
So, uh, nevertheless, naltrexone did not stop uh, the sickness from evolving, and I was aware that I still evolve. And for example, the CRP reactive protein didn't did not went down while on naltrexone. So that was a sign that for me the inflammation was still there, but
Mm.
the pain disappeared, the tiredness, because that sickness involves a lot of tiredness because of the inflammation. And even if the inflammation was not out completely, the tiredness uh, lessened a great deal, which was fantastic. So I regained a lot of energy. Um, I watch out not to eat too much food with gluten and casein, of course, and uh, and so far so good. So for me, it was a complete success.
Mhm.
Uh, to Since then, I find out I find out that for me one of the cause of the spondylitis ankylosing was a bacteria called chlamydia pneumonia. And this is not the subject, so I will not speak about it, but I just mention it because it may be the case for other people. Look
Mhm.
for chlamydia pneumonia. And for example, since I'm fighting chlamydia pneumonia, I've been out of naltrexone for 2 months, and I hardly had any pain anymore. But what I know is that the CRP is has been lessened to almost zero, which allowed me to check for ultra sensitive CRP and ultra sensitive CRP, which is the which mirror, which show the activity of TNF alpha, has been lessened a great deal also. So, so I think that I'm on my way out of that sickness, but mainly because I'm fighting chlamydia pneumonia now. But nevertheless, for me, on a first step, low dose naltrexone has been something that I couldn't dream, and it really, in the past, for the 2 years, in the past 2 years, and I started taking it again. It has been really, it authorized me to live more in a normal way,
Mhm.
which is amazing. So I think that I'm totally for it, and I think that I've been reading a lot about those naltrexone, and I've been using it in my practice. I did advise people who comes to me to take it with great success. And my viewpoint today is that because you take it in such a low dose, which has almost no secondary effect whatsoever, I think the best way is always to try it, that someone don't have to postpone uh, the the try.
Hmm.
Just try it, and you'll see by yourself, because it cannot do any harm. I'm completely 100% certain it cannot do any harm. It did not to me, and it did not to many people whom I'm in contact with. So, so that's what I can tell.
Thank you.
Was it? Oui.
That's
Voilà.
absolutely fine. Thank you very much, Pierre. I do appreciate it.
Okay. Yes, but thanks to you for being there, Linda, and for to do all the things that you do. it's
Thank you.
uh, it's an amazing adventure. But you know, I find out